From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's voice briefing. It's Friday, July 14th, 2023.
I'm Frank Witzel with the Detroit Free Press. A worker who fell from the Ambassador Bridge was rescued Wednesday afternoon, while another man who went overboard the evening before in Lake Erie between Ohio and Canada still has not been found. The man, a contractor for the bridge company, reportedly plunged about 150 feet, about the height of the Detroit Zoo water tower, into the Detroit River below, and was quickly pulled from the water by the W.J. Westcott, according to the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. The CBC, which interviewed the Westcott captain, said the man was conscious and talking, but he seemed confused. The force of hitting the water also was strong enough to knock the man's pants almost completely off, down to his ankles. His shirt and boots, however, remained in place.
From criminal justice reporter Andrea May-Sahuri, Brian Ferguson, a member and former chair of Detroit's Police Oversight Board, announced his resignation from the board Thursday, a day after the Wayne County Sheriff's Office said he was caught with a sex worker by undercover cops. Ferguson represented District 1 for the Detroit Police Board of Commissioners, an 11-member civilian board with supervisory authority over the Detroit Police Department. He previously announced he was stepping away from board meetings after the news broke of his alleged involvement with a sex worker. Ferguson wrote in a news release, quote, "It has been an honor and a privilege to serve the residents of Detroit in police oversight. After further consideration of the best interests of my family and the board, I am choosing to resign as District 1 Police Commissioner effective immediately." End quote. Undercover narcotics officers with the Wayne County Sheriff's Office say they caught Ferguson engaged in a sex act with a prostitute in his vehicle at 7:15 a.m. on Wednesday. For more on this story, you can search for Andrea May-Sahuri's article, Detroit Police Commissioner Brian Ferguson resigns following sex worker scandal, on Freep.com.
I'm Andrew Burkle with the Free Press Sports Department, and now that the MLB All-Star Game is behind us, we are at the unofficial halfway point of the baseball season. And what a half it's been for the Detroit Tigers. Injuries upon injuries, dumb losses, crazy wins. The first 89 games of the season have been about anything but boring for the Tigers. So let's start with the positives. The Tigers have been through it all and are 11 games below 500. Normally that means it's time to make some trades at the deadline on August 1st and start preparing for next year. But that's not necessarily the case in the AL Central. The Tigers are just 5.5 games behind the Guardians for first place with plenty of time left. But to overcome that deficit, the Tigers simply have to be more consistent. The Tigers have had a laundry list of injuries to their pitchers, particularly their starters. But funny enough, it's actually been the offense that has cost them a lot of games. As of the All-Star break, the Tigers have scored just 346 runs this year. That's 28th out of 30 teams in the league. So as we turn into the next chapter of the 2023 season, the question is, which Tigers team are we getting? 3 of their best players, Riley Green, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Tariq Skubal, are all back from injury now. But will that group have enough time to turn it around before the August 1st trade deadline? Tigers president of baseball operations Scott Harris said the standings will have an impact on what they decide to do. So for now, the answer is we'll have to wait and see. For more on this Tigers team and what's in store for the second half, head to our website at freep.com/sports.
Find more from the Detroit Free Press by visiting Freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thanks for listening. Have a great weekend, and you'll hear more from us Monday.